What it do, YouTube? Today's video, I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. Today's video, I want to talk about how disconnected humans have become from Mother Earth. Yes, how disconnected humans have become from Mother Earth, right? Excuse me. So, humans, right? We have been so disconnected from our own habitat that it's not even funny, right? So if you actually think about this, they got the divide and conquer ritual so deeply embedded inside of us as people. You see what I'm saying? They got the divide and conquer ritual so deeply rooted within us as people. No matter what color you are, whatever background you come from, they got that shit deeply embedded, right? So deep to the point that it's ingrained in us to the point where you just want to disconnect from every living thing. And I'm not saying that that is the case, like, oh, I want to disconnect from this and all that. No, basically what I'm saying is it's like this. So if you think about it, morning. So if you think about it from just a perspective like this, right? See, humans could be so egotistical and be so forgetful about their own habitat that a lot of people, and not ain't necessarily that they forget. A lot of people don't give a fuck about no trees. A lot of people don't give a fuck about no plants. A lot of people don't give a fuck about no animals, nothing. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. A lot of people think that food comes from the store. As sad as that is, excuse me, as sad as that is, a lot of people, and it's just fact, they're just, they just think that food comes from the store and that it's the end of that. They don't give a fuck about no trees. They don't give a fuck about no plants. They don't give a fuck about the oceans. They don't give a fuck about the water, which is, you got ponds, lakes, rivers, all that shit. They don't give a fuck about the water. They don't give a fuck about the oceans. They don't give a fuck about the land, the insects, none of that shit. That's how disconnected we have become. You see what I'm saying? To the point where it's like, yeah, I know, but I don't give a damn. Or it's like more like, damn. It's like, okay, I don't give a damn about that stuff. How's that gonna help me? Or it's just to the point where you just forget, like right now, I'm taking a walk in nature right now. Nature all around me. How can I not see the beauty of nature? I come from nature, but at the same time, my vibration is a little bit higher than the average person. You know what I mean? But as humans, we go through things emotionally. But the thing is to try to so-called channel it the best way you can, or just deal with that energy the best way you can. So it's like, like, I see the beauty of nature. You know what I mean? I know that nature you can interact with. Most people forget that. They lose those thoughts, or they just don't give a fuck no more. It's because they have been disconnected and divided and conquered from nature. So when you divided and conquered from nature, you can't even feel no more. You know what I mean? Like you can't even feel shit no more. You just be like, you become dull to the point where your senses barely don't work, and you can't tell when a storm coming. You can't, your intuition off. It's like it's out of whack. You don't know like what's the difference between this, what's the difference between that. Like, you know, like just little different shit like that. And you know, that could be dangerous. And another thing is too, you gotta really look at it. Humans can be so egotistical to the point where humans be like, you know, humans will be like this. I don't give a fuck about that shit. The whole time, we all coexist and live in the same habitat and on the same planet. And each individual creature has their own so-called individual habitat for that specific species. But at the end of the day, we still share the same overall habitat or the same bigger picture, which is Earth, right? See what I'm saying? So basically what that means is like this. Look, just check this out. So a lot of people, we don't give a fuck about this, but you see this tree right here? Hold on, let me see if you can see it. That's a living entity. It might not be moving and talking how I'm moving and talking, but it does talk and it does move. It just talks to people telepathically. You see what I'm saying? See, we live on the same planet as fish, motherfucking insects. Well, I'm not even gonna just say fish, but like aquamarine life, or just amphibians. That's the better word. We live with amphibians, insects, animals. You see what I'm saying? Trees, shrubs, land, oceans. You know what I'm saying? The sky. You know, all these are different things that we coexist with. And we just forget as humans because we are programmed to forget, or so much stress is put into your life where it's like you purposely forget. You know what I'm saying? There's so much stress that they put on one individual to the point where they try to like make you forget like these type of things. But that's how you know shit has become like worse, because everybody, I'm not gonna say everybody, I'd be making a huge generalization. Excuse me. But yeah, a lot of people disconnected. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's what happens. But the thing is, if you disconnect it from Earth, then you're not really eating Earth foods anymore. Look at it like this. Animals and stuff like that, it is Earth food and all that type of stuff like that. But one, it's how the animal is, killed. I hate to say that, but it's how the animal is laid to rest, did the animal live a good life? You see what I'm saying? The person who, killed the animal, did he kill it violently? Did he lay it to rest properly? Different things, because all that stress and shit like that you cause the animal and torment and shit, it turns the meat and the beef jerky or the jerky into cancer. And that's how motherfuckers get the cancer like that, just from the bad meats and shit. So it's very important that animals live certain lives and stuff. And we're not even supposed to be eating animals for real. See my teeth and shit? We have omnivore teeth. We're supposed to really be eating plants, but we're programmed to consume certain foods and stuff like that. So it's like, now that you at a certain awareness as a human, because think about it, whether you black, white, in between, just being a human It's very important at this time. I mean, it's very important in general, but it's very important at this time because, you know what I mean, not many entities can get a human body. You know what I mean? They can't. So, like, you don't want to come back as a walrus or a fucking bumblebee or a spider or something like that. Or a pig that's getting turned into bacon. You know what I mean? So right now it's like the time to get your consciousness right. You know what I mean? Get your soul right. Shit like that. Whether people believe in all that, you don't gotta believe none of that. But that's really what it is, you know what I mean? And it's like we have been so disconnected to the point where it's like people they wouldn't even touch nature. I'm not touching that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's being. That's nature. It's naturally occurring.